I just spent $5,000 in 2 days in a room with Alex Hormozi and his portfolio team, going deep on what's actually working in marketing right now. I didn't go as a fan, I went as an operator. I run a funding company called Waiters Capital, and I also run Wealth Builders Academy, where we help people start and scale funding and credit businesses. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the 3 biggest changes I'm making in my own business over the next 30 days because of this workshop. I'm talking about how I'm changing my content, how I'm changing my ads, and how I'm tightening up my brand, so we can attract better quality clients, lower cost per customer, and have people show up already to buy, instead of us trying to drag them to the finish line. If you're trying to start or grow a funding or credit business, or you're a business owner looking for $50,000 or more in funding, you'll be able to take what I pay for and plug it straight into your own business. Let me show you what I actually wrote down in my notebook. So the first big lesson I learned from that room was what they meant by the genius shortcut. In simple terms, the genius shortcut isn't how smart you feel, it's how fast you stop doing dumb stuff. To give you guys an example, they mentioned that there are 3 types of entrepreneurs. You have the dumb entrepreneur, the smart entrepreneur, and the genius entrepreneur. The dumb entrepreneur continues to make the same mistakes over and over and over again and never learns from them. The smart entrepreneur makes a mistake once and then adjusts behavior and never makes that mistakes again and continues to grow. But the genius entrepreneur never make mistakes because they learn from other people's mistakes, right? So they never actually halt their growth because they're always growing because they're learning from other people's mistakes. What I got from this is a lot of us are in these stages, unfortunately. We're either a dumb entrepreneur or a smart entrepreneur. The dumb entrepreneur does the same thing over and over again and expects a different result and not willing to change what they're already doing. And some of us are smart entrepreneurs. We hit our head once and we learn from it. But what if we can stop any of this from happening and we were just geniuses from the beginning, learning from other people's mistakes? That's one thing that I got from this workshop that really changed my perspective of how to go about being a genius inside of your business as an operator. Another big thing that I want to point out, which was very valuable to me, I never looked at learning in this way. Hormozi talked about learning is a behavior change. And this hit home for me because a lot of people don't realize, like, you only learn when you change behavior. Like, literally, if you do something, get a bad result, and you do the exact same thing again and get the same result, you did not learn because you didn't change your behavior. And that's the whole part of learning, is to change behavior so that you don't make the same mistakes over and over again. So that alone was critical for me to be able to become the entrepreneur that I am today. I'm gonna give you guys an example of me being a dumb/smart entrepreneur, and I don't want you guys to make the same mistake, right? So one constraint that I had in my business was attracting qualified leads, right? We spend a lot on ads, but attracting the right avatar. And instead of me thinking, hey, let me change my messaging, let me change my ad creative, I just thought if I spent more that I would actually get more. And what happened was I got more of the same unqualified people. So that was me being a dumb entrepreneur. But I realized over a span of time, right, that I needed to change my messaging. So I adjusted my messaging and spent more and got qualified leads into my business. That was a great example of me being a smart entrepreneur. But one thing I want you guys to take out of that is time. It took me 30 days to figure that out, guys. That's 30 days that I was behind. That's 30 days of wasting money that I could not get back. So don't make that same mistake. Learn from my mistake, be a genius entrepreneur, and learn from other people's mistakes and execute. All right, so the second big lesson I learned is how social media actually works now. Followers don't matter like they used to. Your content is the targeting now. The platform decides who sees your content based on what you talk about and who interacts with it. The old game used to look like this. You used to have to make viral content to be able to get followers, to expand your reach. And then once you get that following, you would then post content to sell to your followers. And then you're selling one to many in a way, right? That's the old game. You used to have to make viral content and try to be famous online to be able to acquire a client. So now the platform has changed. It's no longer social media, it's interest media. Meaning that your content is the targeting. What you say in your content, your messaging, who you attract, your avatar, that is going to attract the people that actually see your content on a day-to-day basis. I'm pretty sure you guys have been on Instagram scrolling and you see something on your feed that was posted 2 or 3 days ago. Why? Because the algorithm is showing that you're interested in that thing. So the new social media game that we're going to talk about, like I mentioned, content is your targeting. So it's no longer about making virality content. It's about speaking directly to your avatar, giving pain, promise, and proof to be able to attract buyers that want your offer. On top of that, the platform finds your people now. Like I mentioned, You don't have to have a big following to actually go viral on Instagram. You just got to make really good content talking to your exact avatar that will buy your product or service. And then, like I mentioned as well, you sell to your viewers through that. So having the big following is no longer needed to actually master the game of social media. It's more so having good content, talking directly to your avatar, talking about specific pain points that relate to your avatar, that resonates with them, and then being able to have a solution, a product or service or offer that can help them overcome that pain, guys. So I want to make that very, very clear. So there are really two ways you can play this new game. Most people play entertainer, and that's wrong if you're a business owner. You chase virality, you measure success by views and likes, and you need millions of random people to actually care about your product or service. We want to play the educator game. We make content to change behavior, measure success by whether the right people move closer to buying our product or service, and build a big business off a few thousand of the right people. Remember, we're business owners. It doesn't take much for us to get a sale. We're not trying to be TikTok dancers. We're trying to be the obvious choice for people who need funding, better credit, or a funding-based business. So our content has one job: make the right person stop and think, they're talking to me and this might actually help. Here's the rule that brought this home for myself. Every piece of content has to answer three things. First, who is this for? If you're trying to start a funding or credit business, if you already run a funding company and you're tired of broke leads, if you're a business owner who needs 50K or more in funding. Second, what problem are you talking about? Examples of that can be ad costs going up, unqualified leads on the calendar, getting denied by banks, or stuck with bad funding terms. And third is, what's the next step? Usually that will be something like, if you want the full breakdown, I'm hosting a free class, link below. A template you can use to reframe this is, if you're this person who wants this specific result and you're stuck with this specific problem, here's a solution for you. If you take that template and break it down, it will help you talk directly to your avatar, very plain and simple. On the metric side, you want to keep it simple. Are people watching a big chunk of my video? Are the right people commenting or DMing me? Do some of them save it or come back to it later? That brings me to my next thing. They talked about tracking metrics on organic content based on the number of saves that you get. When people save your content, it shows that it's valuable. It shows that they want to go back and look at it later. And when you are able to see who saves your content, that shows you which content is most valuable and probably performing the best for your business, which now you can reallocate that and run it as an ad. The third big lesson is how to think about ads now. Most of the time, your market isn't tired of you, your ad creatives are. So use organic to figure out what lands, then you pay to show these pieces to more of the right people. This is the flywheel I'm building in my own business and what I actually learned from the workshop. Let me break it down for you. So one thing I learned from Alex Hormozi, which you guys probably already know, he always preaches volume. Volume negates luck, meaning that you can either hope on success or you can force success by outputting so much volume, it's unreasonable for you to fail. So one strategy he gave was outputting more organic and transitioning it into a paid ads flywheel. And I'll explain exactly how this works. So basically he was saying to post your content organically first. Let the market shows if it's a valuable piece of content. How do you know if it's a valuable piece of content? If you get a bunch of saves, right? Remember, saves is the metric that shows it's valuable, right? With that content, we want to find the winners that have the most saves or the most metrics or brings us the most money organically. And then we want to turn those into paid ads. Now I want to slow down really quick. The reason why we do this is because it's already proven to work, guys, right? Understanding that you posting something organic and then running it as an ad is the lowest risk thing that you can do, because if it's proven organic, it's always going to crush as an ad. So posting as an ad first is essential. Once you find that winner, you then want to turn it into an ad and then add a call to action, whether you're sending people to a call funnel, a webinar, a DM, or however they can actually reach out to you for your product, service, or offer. So that's one thing that I learned, is creating that flywheel. And another thing from this that kind of helped me out throughout the event, that gave me the aha moment. As entrepreneurs, we think working harder is always going to get us to our goals, but none of us think about working smarter. And what smarter looks like is creating a flywheel that can basically work without you. We want to compound the actual work that we put in to what we do. And the only way we do that is creating strategies and processes that allows us as a CEO and founder to get out of the day-to-day business when it comes down to content. So if you're posting a lot organically, you're able to find winners that are ads and then run those as ads and add a call to action so that people can actually see your product. The fourth big lesson was brand. In Hormozi's words, brand equals association. Simple. Brand is the pairing people make in their head between you and an idea. Not your logo, not your colors, not your slogan. It's literally what people think when they think about you. Every time someone sees your stuff, you are training that association. If people hear your name and think the cheapest option, kind of scammy, I don't really know what they do, that's your brand, whether you like it or not. If they instead think these are the people who actually get funding done, they're the ones who do it the right way, when I'm ready, I'm going to them, that's brand too. The whole game is pick the association on purpose and repeat it until it sticks. A few questions you can ask yourself to figure out your brand is this. When someone hears your name right now, what do they think of you? Honestly, who do they associate you with? What do you want them to associate you with 1 year from now? And does your content, your offers, and how you show up actually match that? If you help people get funding, fix credit, or grow a business, your brand should match that, right? Brand is not being famous, it's being known for something specific. And here's why this matters for money. Strong brands means people trust you faster. They argue less on price, they come in warmer, and they send friends. Weak or random brands mean you have to resell every new person from scratch, and your cost to acquire customers continues to rise. So as we get into this 30-day plan that I'm about to show you guys, I'm not thinking just more content or more ads. I'm thinking every touch point should reinforce the same exact association. Now to bring this home, what I'm actually doing with all this information is simple. I'm going to give you guys the exact 30-day plan that I put together on my drive back from the workshop in Vegas. If you're serious about your funding or credit business, or you're a business owner who wants funding and better deal flow, use the template below that I'm going to repeat for you guys. Week 1 is going to be content. Get a lot of the right messages into the market. Try to record 8 to 10 simple whiteboard videos like this aimed at people who want to become funding brokers, existing funding or credit business owners interested in securing funding, and coaches or consultants who want to help business owners and want to add funding as a service. Couple topic ideas could be why your funding calendar is full of broke leads, how we think about chargeback risk before we take a client, why your credit repair clients never buy your high ticket upsell. You want to post those videos on YouTube Shorts, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere, TikTok, right? Look at, are people watching most of it? Are the right people commenting and DMing? Are any of them saving this to come back to later? Week 2, I'm going to focus on ads. The goal with this is to take what's working for free and pay to show it to more of the right people. Grab the top 2 or 3 performing best pieces of organic content, cut to 30 to 60 second versions of it, a strong hook in the first few seconds, and a simple call to action at the end. Something similar like, if you want to see how we do this step by step inside my funding company, I'm hosting a free class, link below. I'm going to run this directly to my webinar landing page. Week 3, I'm going to focus on my webinar. The goal with that is to make the main sales event do more of the heavy lifting for me. So I'm going to